Hey, there you are. When I have a couple of projects in front of me, it's sometimes difficult to pick, which branding do I want to launch? Do I want to launch with Mañana No Mas? Do I want to launch with Power Sport Academy? Do I want to endorse Lifter LMS, WP Tonic? I mean, these different projects that I'm involved in as a person in my personal brand. It's an interesting conversation to have a talk about personal brand versus corporate brand. So, my personal brand is that I am highly focused on leadership, consulting, project management, and the creative side of running a full blown internet agency, right? So, there's all of these things that kind of make me my personal brand. But when I think about things that are like a professional brand, I think about the wonderful training that I helped execute today with the Marine Retailers Association of America. The Marine Retailers Association of America has a phenomenal training program. They boil it down to about 7 weeks and they put a handful of dealerships together with a certification consultant, of which I am. I'm one of those. And we help guide these dealerships through 7 weeks of how does your business run? Here's your homework. Here's do this, do that, do the other thing. And it seems weird, right? You'll say, well, and then we say these are the creme de la creme. These are the top dealers. They're certified. And then someone looking in on this might say, well, that's weird. How can they be the creme de la creme? How can they be the best of the best if they don't know how to run a spreadsheet? If they don't know how their accounting works? If they don't track the comebacks through their service department? Like, these are completely reasonable questions. But today was the day that we finished up that series. And I decided to make this live video, this live message that's going out to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I decided to make this message branded for the Power Sport Academy. That's my personal project, my personal corporate brand that deals with training in the power sports industry. Often people forget that it's the best that continue to seek guidance and training. Tiger Woods has a swing coach. You can go through all of these athletes. Take a look at the top F1 racers. Take a look at the top mountain climbers. Take a look at the top surfers. And they all have somebody that mentors them or trains them or guides them or focuses them on their next level of success. And so when dealerships sign up for the MRAA, Marine Retailers Association of America program, I personally believe that many of them are already the best. And they just need that guidance, that consulting that brings things together. Okay. So in a lot of cases, of things that we say are the homework or the tasks that have to be done. In a lot of cases, the dealers do 80, 90% of it already, but they don't do it in a way that's organized or in a way that's geared towards growth or geared towards, success at another level. They do things because they think they need to do things. Like, I'm going to run this weekly report. I'm going to run this monthly report. I'm going to have these meetings once every 2 weeks, once a month, once a quarter, whatever. And so they tick the box, but what's the spirit of the task? How does the task get you to the next level, to the next level, to the next level? How does that happen? When I put together the Power Sport Academy, I was very much of the same type of mindset as what put together the MRAA's training. And that was, what are the things that need to happen at the dealership level that drive the success of service, drive the success of sales, drive the success of the finance and insurance department, commonly called F&I? What drives the success, the profits, the margins in those areas? And so as I put my training together for the Power Sport Academy, I envisioned a complete certification process where eventually we would be able, as an entity, to certify the whole dealership to say, hey, this dealer is the creme de la creme. It's certified, have a directory of dealerships, but the certified dealers, they get top ranking. And when people are shopping and looking to do business with a power sports dealer, by gosh, they want to do business with a certified dealer. They want to make sure that the customer experience is the best that it can be, that the reduction of friction for the customer has been employed at every level, and that the business is operating not only in the best interest of the customer, but quite frankly, in the best interest of the business as well, to maximize efficiencies, productivities, and profit. And when you talk in these terms, sometimes business owners, it just goes right over their heads. Not because they're dumb. They're not dumb. They're just tired. They're tired of being shouted at all the time with, you should this, you should that, you should the other. But the best ones, they sign up for the training, they go through the process, and they make sure they tick the boxes, and they communicate the ticking of those boxes to their staff, and they communicate to people on the ground, hey, this is why we do it this way. This is why it's important, and this is how we track our progress. And those dealers are the ones that do the best. Now, today was really rewarding for me because it was, the end of the certification process. And I want to share with you a couple of the goals that came through. Now, this is important for me because, and as you hear these, some of you listening or watching this video, whether live or coming in after the fact, watching the replay, you're going to have oh, duh. And those that are saying duh, what does are you missing in your business? Here's the problem with running a business, and especially in today's society with all the litigious nature of things and certifications and hazmat and all of these things. Any kind of dealership, RV, motorcycle, automotive, any of those, there's so many moving parts that it's really hard to be the best at everything. So one of my dealers today said, I want to have a full-time HR manager in place. Now, some of you might look at that and go, well, that's weird. Why wouldn't you have HR? There's a lot of dealerships that don't have HR. As a dealership grows from 5 employees to 9 employees to 12 employees to 25 employees and then there's peak and downtimes, right? A lot of dealership work is seasonal. It's not like automotive. So if you're in the boat business or if you're in the motorcycle business, your business may be seasonal based on your geological location. And so maybe you have 5 employees in the winter, but you got 50 in the summer. That's not unheard of. And so a lot of these dealerships might not have full-time HR. Okay. But in this case, this particular dealership said, I'm starting to see how having a full-time HR manager in place, based on the annual review content that we went through in training, would be an advantage to them. Now, that's the owner in the class making the decision. It's not somebody else saying, oh, I wish we had an HR manager. No, it's the owner. He's saying, I'm making the decision that my goal in 2024 is to add a full-time HR manager. And then he talked about, the importance of onboarding and offboarding staff. Now, you're watching this and you might not know what that really means. But I just talked about a cyclical business where people come and go and you have to scale up and scale down based on seasonality. So if you don't have the right person on staff to onboard and offboard people, you might be spending more money than you need to on, unemployment insurance and things like that. And so having somebody full-time that's in charge, that monitors the staffing and maintains it is a win-win-win-win-win. All right. There's a process in the certification process where they have a certain meeting with their employees, and it's a very transparent, kind of anonymous thing. And so we had some really good feedback on that. And through that process, another one of the dealers said, well, we've discovered that although we want to have 100% follow-up with sales and service, follow-up meaning with the customer, we have failed to do so. And so their goal is 100% follow-up with sales and service. So that's awesome. And then part of what this dealer realized through the certification process, through the 7 weeks of working with a consultant, they've realized their dealership might not be retail ready. And so they were like, we have stickers on the window from 2006. Like, customers coming up to our business for the first time probably don't care about a sticker from 2006. So we need to clean up our business, and we need to make sure that our marketing, our advertising, our curb appeal matches 2024 and not some bygone error of success that, quite honestly, needs to be represented moving forward. We had another dealership that we asked for, and this one also focused on the follow-up process. So how important is the follow-up process? And they equated it to increasing their CSI scores, right? CSI is customer satisfaction. So we went from one dealer saying, I need to have better sales and service follow-up. Another one said, if I improved my follow-up process, I'd probably improve my CSI scores, which would be a big help for other things. They had a couple of other goals. They're a little personal. I'm going to skip past those. One said that he was really big on goal setting, but he focuses more on long-term goals. And so he had noticed that, let me get back to that. Where was I? Nope, there we go. Yep. He said that he was more focused on long-term goals, and he expressed to his employees dreams and desires and initiatives and processes based on long-term goals. Almost like he wants to talk about running an ultra marathon with a friend of mine named Adam Silver. Gotcha, Adam. It's like, in his mind, he's focused on running ultra marathons, but he's got people on staff that really just want to know, how do I run a 5K? How do I run a 5K? How do I run a 10K? And so what he's realized through the certification process and through working with a consultant is that he needs to have long-term goals are great, but he needs to break those goals into smaller short-term goals so he can communicate the vision better with his team and get better results. So that, to me, I thought was tremendous feedback. Another one talked about having more systematic processes. Another one talked about having more follow-up. And another one, in a kind of a transparent way, said they need to be open to suggestion and encourage input more from their employees. So I put this on the Powersport Academy channel for a couple of things. One is, here I am working in a very successful dealership training platform for the marine industry. They're knocking it out of the park, and I'm not going to share anything that would be against an NDA or non-disclosure, however you want to say these things. I'm not going to share anything like that publicly, right? I'm not going to go into the details of their program or how we train this or how we train that. This content belongs to the MRAA, the Marine Retailers Association of America. However, hang on, I got to yell at somebody real quick. So when I think about the Powersport Academy and what we bring to the table as the Powersport Academy, I'm like, how do we get powersports dealers to even take the first step, to even understand what is in the balance here? I mean, I get the impression that some of these dealers are waiting for the National Powersports Dealer Association to put together, a free members course that would kind of get the results that the Powersport Academy gets. Or they're waiting for the OEMs to maybe put out some training that helps them improve their personal business like the Powersport Academy does. I really don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the National Powersports Dealer Association is going to work on things that have to do with, like, the interaction between dealerships and lawmakers and dealerships and the OEMs. from a perspective of doing business, but not from the perspective of increasing your business, your personal business processes, practices, and things that reduce friction for your customer in the field. I don't see them filling that need. And the OEMs, because I have an OEM background, because I've worked for 10 years for multiple OEMs, they're not going to pay to train your people, or they're not going to pay, they're not going to invest in making you a better dealership if you're carrying 8 to 10 other brands in your store. Because the OEMs have come to realize when they invest in helping the dealers get better, they may go up fractionally, in their own sales. However, they're helping all the other manufacturers go up in sales as well. And so a lot of these OEMs are sitting back and wondering who's going to what, right? And then there are a couple of brands that are offering training that's not free, that you have to pay for. And since I have an OEM background, I'll be more blunt. If the training is created by brand A, do you think the training is meant for all the brands or to center on brand A? And if we think about what brand A's goals are to reduce buybacks and to get you to buy more parts and supplies directly through brand A. I mean, that's their motivation. Their motivation is, hey, if we create this training program, how can we influence the dealers to spend more money with us? That's their inspiration. So the Powersport Academy comes in as a third-party training company that'll come alongside you and your dealership, train your people, and report back to you as the owner the progress of the training with those people, and monitor your department's growth by going over the homework and going over the numbers that your people submit. The training in the Powersport Academy, at least for power sports, is off the chain. It's crazy. And it's super valuable when you consider the return on the back end. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee coming in. Sign up. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but it's if you don't see the value in it after 30 days, no questions asked. Just send me an email. Say, hey, dude, I signed up for this. I don't like it. I want my money back. And I'll process a refund. Not a problem. I am so confident in the amount of low-hanging fruit at your dealership. I am so confident in the changes we can make almost coming out of the gate, talking to your folks, interviewing your folks, asking questions about internal processes, sharing some of our proprietary coursework with your people. I am so confident that you're going to see gains that exceed your investment so quickly. Your next question is going to be, can I sign up for more than 1 year? Is there something past the first year? Is there more consulting past the first year? Now we've got different levels of training available. You can take the content on your own pace, sign up, you get access to the content, whatever. No coaching, just content, right? And people can sign up for that, or they can sign up for coaching. And we have packages where we work coaching for one employee or coaching for the whole department. You choose what works best for you. Go to powersportacademy.com, take a look at our options and membership, and see what suits you best. But, here's the deal. I just finished a 7-week training program with the MRAA, and they've been doing this for like 18 years. They know what they're doing. The content is solid. And the feedback I'm getting is tremendous. And the growth that these dealers are going to experience through the certification process is going to be phenomenal, while also giving the customers a reduced friction experience. So this isn't a, how to club a seal or strip somebody's wallet clean kind of course. It's how do you reduce friction for customers? How do you focus on relationships instead of transactions? And how do you watch your business grow through relationships, through process, through internal culture? It's been amazing for me. I haven't seen any comments come in, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. But have yourself a wonderful one. If you watch this on the replay and you've got a comment, put it in. I'd love to hear from you. And if you would like a tour of the back end of the Powersport Academy, just hit me up. We'll schedule a time together, 10, 15 minutes. We'll run through the website, see what you think. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.